Okay, Pops, we're back for round two with Mr. Nick Wavy, and yeah, jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Make sure you watch part one if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah.
I put a down payment of $500 security deposit. This was the check I brought them, a check for $24,330. Add on the gap insurance. So what gap insurance is if I crash my car and the insurance company would offer me $100,000 for the car, but I still owed $200,000 on the car, gap insurance will cover the rest of the payment. So insurance will give me another $100,000, and that goes towards paying off my vehicle. So there's that I paid for. There's the HST on the
We have a Should I Buy Gap Insurance video. We'll link that down below.
insurance. So I paid tax on top of the gap insurance. And then there's the lien registration fee, which I think that means I'm either paying off my old car or I'm starting a new loan. I don't know, one or the other. So in total, it came up to $69,368 that I owed. So this picture here will kind of give you a better understanding of how it got to that total. So I didn't understand this paper until I think 2 years later. Like I always tried to read and understand what this is, but I never understood it until now, and that's why I'm making a video. So there's optional accident and health insurance, which was $2,052.
Oh my God.
Bro, I have no idea what that is. I can't.
Well, I'll help you. That's God forbid you have an accident, something happens to you, or you become ill and you lose your ability to have your income, your earning potential. Well, the credit, accident, and health insurance will make the payments for you until you can get back on your feet financially. The dealership, the F&I guy, did not miss a trick when it came to poor Nick. And this is the perfect example where when you're going through your contract, if you don't know what something is, stop the process.
And call YAA.
And if you can't call YAA, at least stop the process and get the finance person to explain what it is that you don't understand.
And we empathize with you because you've grinded out, well, in Nick's case, he did,
Yeah.
but if you've negotiated the front end of the car deal, by the time you're in the F&I office, you just want to leave.
Yes,
But you gotta,
you
that's just-
gotta pay attention.
well, it's not so much even pay attention.
No,
Just
you-
feel empowered to say, hey, I don't get it. That's not paying attention.
Yeah.
It's like, because, Dad, you got to recognize when you're
I
not,
recognize you.
when you don't have your experience and you're sitting across from an F&I manager, it's not an attention thing. You can have my full attention. I'm like nervous or I'm embarrassed. And it's like, look past that. And
Yeah, don't ever be embarrassed.
I remember saying, yeah, sign me up for the optional accident and health insurance. I already have that with my car insurance. You know what I mean? So that's an optional fee that cost me $2,000. I have no idea what it is. There's optional extended warranty, which is $5,000 roughly. I said, yeah, sign me up for that. And then there's a contract registration fee. So I guess to get the car in my name, it cost me $96.
I believe that was broken down on the buyer's order we saw before.
I guess I said no. And then there's tax on top of that, right? So which is 13% in my state. So in my province. So in total, $69,000 for the car, plus all these other fees, plus tax on top of that. The total came up to $84,374 for the purchase of the vehicle. That's what I was buying. Now, I traded in a car which was valued at $16,000. But I owed $25,000 for the old car. So to get rid of my old car, I had to give up my vehicle and pay an additional $9,000. So now my loan for the old car is clear. I no longer owe anything for my old car, and I don't own it anymore. And I got rid of it. So it cost me $10,000 to pay off the vehicle, and I don't even have the car anymore. You know, so
It didn't cost him $10,000 to pay off the vehicle. He was handling his negative equity. As I used to train salespeople, how is it, folks, that you plan on handling your negative equity? And he did it. He had to put up the additional dollars so that he could trade the car, and not still owe to the bank. So he ultimately put down almost $25,000, and $10,000 of that went to make his trade-in whole.
I look at the numbers, I'm just like, that's stupid. So bear with me, it gets worse.
Sorry
Now I
to
put
hear
in a
that.
check for $25,000.
Yes.
And $25,000 subtracted by the $10,000 that I owed for the old vehicle means I have $15,000 left to put down payment on the new vehicle. So $84,000, which was the total cost of the vehicle plus tax and all that, subtracted by the $15,000 down payment that I had remaining, my total came up to $69,368. So I needed to finance $69,368 from the bank. Now, this is how it works. On June 19th, as you can see here, 2018, is when the...
What? Did you want me to notice the 7.74%? To suggest that Nick is buried would be an understatement. Even though he had to put an extra $10,000 to clear the previous trade, he is so far upside down. The moment he signed for this, it's frightening. But what they did for him is, well, they kept his biweekly payment. Well, no, actually, the biweekly payment went up $300 a month, $300 every 2 weeks. So, oh my God, poor Nick. Poor that salesperson, that F&I manager, that sales manager, they're still enjoying their vacation in Tahiti to this day.
I like pause at I mean, his eye contact with us is just like,
Yeah, no, that's.
I'm
I feel your pain, Nick.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we get to like talk to you or something, Nick. This is kudos to him for making a video.
Yeah, no,
Holy
absolutely.
cow.
the loan started, and I signed a 6-year finance term. So it's 72 months, and I'm paying bi-weekly for 72 months. As you can see here, bi-weekly, and each payment will be $556.53 bi-weekally. So something that I want to bring to your attention, I was thinking to myself, yeah, this is I pay $556 every 2 weeks, that's $1,100 a month. That's not true. So I'm paying $556 every 2 weeks, and there's 52 weeks in a year, which means there's 26 payments that I'll have to make. So $556 every 2 weeks for 26 weeks equals $14,456. But I thought about it, I'm like, if I pay $1,100 a month, right? $1,100 a month, and there's 12 months.
This is Jim.
It comes to $13,200. But when you do bi-weekly payments,
Yes,
it just comes up to more than monthly payments.
of course. Because you've agreed to make an extra payment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing because I'm paying more money off for my car, whatever. But you're not necessarily doing that. So when you borrow money from the bank and I have a bi-weekly payment of $556, in total, I'm going to end up paying the bank $17,450 in interest because I'm borrowing $69,000 from the bank
That is correct.
at 7% for 6 years.
Yes.
So that's how much money they would have profited from loaning me the $69,000.
That's not profited. That's the interest charge. That's the cost of borrowing $69,000.
For folks that are new to the channel, there's this concept called the buy rate and the sell rate. You might not be aware of it, but the F&I manager can mark up your interest rate. You might get approved. In Nick's case, he could have been approved for 5%.
Could have been.
Okay, if you had a customer on the front end of the deal that didn't negotiate anything on the back end of the deal, are you taking a swing for the fences and you're going to mark that up like 3 points?
Well, you'd be foolish not to if you were the F&I guy. If the customer flopped for everything that you said when you were selling him the car, then if you're the finance person and this is how you make your income,
And the sales manager is going to give you the deal, what's called the deal
the
jacket.
sales manager's going to go, this guy flopped for everything. I think you can hit a grand slam here. And that's what the F&I guy's going to try and do, or the F&I gal. That's their
So
job.
realistically, Nick probably got approved. I mean, we obviously don't know his
I
credit
don't
or
know what
anything,
Nick, but maybe
but
he
for
got
less than
approved.
7.74.
Yeah, maybe he got approved at 5.74. Maybe the dealership only picked up 2 points, on a $69,000 loan. But over 6 years, that extra 2% adds up to a lot of money. There was probably a finance reserve of $3,500, I don't know, $4,500 just in finance reserve that the dealership was going to get paid on
And when my dad says finance reserve, that's profit for the finance.
dealer.
$17,450. So how car payments work is if my payments are $556 bi-weekly, maybe $300 of that goes towards the car, and the rest of the money goes towards the loan. So I'm paying off the $500. Some of that goes towards the value of the car, and some of that goes towards the interest. So the bank is going to start making their money back faster before I start paying off the total value of the car. So your car payment and you're financed and you have a car financed, all of that money is not going towards the value of the car. It's going towards the value of the car and the loan that you owe
Like a loan.
Yeah, and the interest. Yeah, absolutely.
them. They're not going to wait to the end of the loan for you to pay them everything. They're going to take money as your plan goes along, and they're going to start making their money. So I think that's the best way I can explain it. Let me try and summarize this now. So I bought a car for $24,000 plus tax, so it came up to $27,000. I put $2,000 down. Now the bank lended me $25,000, okay? And I was paying $250 bi-weekly. By the time I wanted to buy a new car, the dealership offered me $16,000 for the car. But at the time, I owed $25,000 for the vehicle. It was 6 months after I had the car. So now they took my car. They gave me 16 grand.
Vehicle probably didn't depreciate $8,000 in
You
6
think?
months.
But I still owe 25. So now I need to put another $10,000 down, and now I got rid of my car. So at this point, I have no car, no loan, and I just lost like 25 grand. So, okay, look, I'm done trying to explain this because the more I try and explain, the more complicated it gets. So long story short, when you want to finance a car, my advice to you is to put as much money down as possible, because the more money you borrow from the bank, the more you have to pay them back. If you borrow $1,000 from the bank, you have to pay 7%. But if you borrow $10,000 from the bank, you still have to pay them back the 7%. So you want to pay back as less money as possible. And another thing that I would do when I buy another vehicle is make sure I look at the list of things I'm buying. So I didn't even know I paid for optional accident and health insurance for $2,000. I just now noticed it. I have no idea what that is. I already paid for insurance. So why did I pay? I didn't even pay. I borrowed another $2,000 from the bank for optional accident and health insurance, and I have to pay interest on that. So I paid $2,000, 7% interest, whatever that is.
Why don't we wrap here, Dad? What is your advice to the car buyer out there that's watching this video and feeling Nick's pain? Just in summary, I know you've said it in the hundreds of videos we've done, but what is your advice?
Question everything. Make sure you understand everything that you're signing for. If you're not 100% certain of what something is, stop the process, slow it down, say, I'm not sure what this is. Can you please explain it to me? And until you understand it, don't agree to it.
And you took that in a direction I wasn't expecting. I thought you were going to say negotiate the OTD price.
Well,
Then everything you just said, right? Because at the beginning of the day, Nick doesn't even know what he bought.
Even if Nick negotiated an out the door price, okay, which would be the preferable thing to do. Even if he did that, if he wasn't cognizant of the accident health insurance, if he wasn't cognizant of the financing, $299 for the fine, what is that? I mean,
Or coming in pre-approved so that you didn't have to do a 7.74 loan.
There's all kinds of things that Nick could have done, should have done, But I'm telling you, if you're looking at something that is as convoluted as this seems to be, as complicated as this seems to be, you need to be 100% sure that you understand it.
And what's one way that you can be 100% sure that you understand it? You got it. You got it. You can do it.
Subscribe to
It's a good
what? Tell me.
Yeah, use one of our do
Yeah.
a deal consult with us.
Yeah.
Seriously, because this is what we do. You email us this, we break down what it is. I mean, if Nick had done that, he would have said, yeah.
If Nick had done that, he'd probably still be driving the original car.
Yeah, because it just doesn't
Because
make
this just doesn't make good economic sense. Because what's happening is he's financing $69,000 and he's paying back $86,818.
It's $20,000.
Now wait a second, and he already gave them $25,000 in cash. So if you take 86 and 25, that's 14. It's
119.
Okay, that's like for a $69,000 car. That's ultimately what he's paying for this car. And yes, they're really enjoying their hotel room over the water in the Maldives.
Nick, if you watch this video, reach out to us. Reach out to me, Zach, at yourautoadvocate.com. We'd love to maybe talk to you about this. Thank you for making the video. And yeah.
I mean, it takes a hell of a person to say, I screwed up. I don't want you to screw up. I'm going to show you how I screwed up so that perhaps you won't follow in my footsteps moving forward. So God bless Nick for doing that. I mean, I really mean that. God bless him for doing it.
If there are other videos out there that you want us to react to, if you know someone who maybe got hosed on a car deal and you want us to review it, let us know in the comments down below or email us, Zach or info@yourautoadvocate.com. Okay. Thanks for doing this, Pops.
I want to say one other thing. The dog was unbelievable the whole time. Just laid there, kind of like me.
Kind of like Nick did at the dealership.
Yeah, well, the dog laid down, Nick laid down, everybody laid down.